Kakadosh, Boker Tov. I wanted to share with you a beautiful idea on this week's Parashat. It says, Vayomer Moshe Aharon, says Moshe to Aharon Hakohen, Asher diber Hashem lemor, which is Hashem saying, Bikrovai ekadesh, I will become sanctified with my holy ones. Ve'al penei kol ha'am ekaveh v'yidom Aharon. So Aharon kept quiet. He kept quiet. What exactly was the schar? What was the reward of this keeping quiet? We know how difficult it was that two children of Aharon Hakohen were killed, right? Kedoshei Elyon. And all of a sudden they're killed, and Vayidom Aharon keeps quiet. He doesn't say anything. How could that be? What was the schar exactly? So Rashi already says the reward was Nityached imo adibur. Hashem spoke directly to him without Moshe Rabbenu. He spoke directly to him, and he told him the Parashat Shtuyei Yain, meaning the Isur of Kohanim to drink wine and then to do the service in the Bet HaMikdash. Now, we have to understand everything that's going on. What exactly is going on here? When it says in Parashat Tetzaveh, we read when Aharon Hakohen became Kohen Gadol, it says there in the Pasuk, Ve'ata akrev elecha et Aharon achicha ve'banav ito. You're going to bring Aaron, your brother, and his children, lecha anoli, to become Kohanim. Aharon, Elazar v'Itamar. Yeah, so you have Aaron, right? Aaron is the Kohen Gadol, and then his children, Nadav, Avihu, Elazar v'Itamar. Okay, the Midrash says, when Moshe Rabbenu was told, Ki krav elav et Aaron kedei lechano, herda lo hadavar. He didn't like it. When he was told, go make Aharon Hakohen and his children Kohanim, there was something there. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, Torah hayta li untatid le'alecha. I have the Torah and I gave it to you. Shilulehi bati olami. If it wasn't for that, I would have gone. So now, 1 second, I would have gotten everything, rid of everything. Now the question is, what's going on? Moshe Rabbenu changed? What changed for Moshe Rabbenu? He was jealous of the Kiuna. We have to understand. Before Yitziat Mitzrayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and he tells Moshe Rabbenu, he tells, listen, I want you to take Bnei Yisrael out. What does he say? No, I don't want to. You have Aharon, my brother. He's the Gadol Ador. He's there until now. He's older than me. Every day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. He does not want it. Okay? Right? All of a sudden, this was all what? Not to be pogeh and Aharon Hakohen. So for now, 7 days, Shiva Yamim is there stopping. He doesn't want to do it. Until he comes, he says, Alon anochicha alevi. Right? Yadati kidaber v'samach belibo. He's happy. Aharon is happy. Don't worry about him. Right? All of a sudden, he says, okay, fine. I'm going to do it. And all of a sudden, he's has a negative vibes about Aharon Hakohen becoming Kohanim. What exactly is the explanation? But rather, the explanation is, and something very, very important in life, which is as follows. Moshe Rabbenu didn't have children that followed in his path, that were fitting to take his role, that were fitting to continue, right, with this, we're going to say this torch, to continue going. And because of that, he wanted that when he was going to pass away, to hand it on to his children. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you have to give it to Yoshua bin Nun, to your student, not to your children. Your children are not fitting. It has to go to your student. So what happened is that was the difference between Aharon Hakohen and Moshe Rabbenu. Why? Right? What happened was, it says, Chazal say that Moshe Rabbenu was jealous of the death of Aharon. Aharon died with mitat neshika, with a kiss of death. He also wanted the kiss of death. It says there in the Midrash, it says, he kanes le'arav v'nichnas. They told him, go into the cave. Aharon Hakohen went into the cave. He saw a bed and he saw a candle lit. He told him, go on to the bed. He went up to the bed. Open up your hands, open up your hands. Right, the mouth, close your eyes, close the eyes. Moshe Rabbenu, he wanted the exact same death. What does that mean? We think that he wanted the same death as the kiss of death. The same death means that he was yearning that his children should be the same like him. Because Aharon Hakohen's children were the continuation of Aharon. Aharon passed away, right? And you had the Elazar v'Itamar, that they were his continuation. Nadav, Avihu were killed in this week's parasha, but he had a continuation. Now we understand the Pshat in the Midrash when it says Moshe Rabbenu had these negative vibes. Moshe Rabbenu had these negative vibes was Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, you have to bring Aharon and his children to make them Kohanim. The Kin'ah was not on Aharon. He wanted Aharon to be the Kohen Gadol. The Kin'ah, the jealousy was on the children of Aharon. Because Moshe Rabbenu looks at himself in the mirror and he says, where's my continuation? Where am I going? I'm working, I'm doing everything, but what continues afterwards? And therefore, Moshe Rabbenu was answered, no, but the Torah was given to you. The Torah was given to you, and if you teach Torah to other people, those students are your children. And since those students are your children, ultimately, Yoshua bin Nun is also your child. So don't worry about it. But, right, Aharon here, Hakohen, he didn't just lose some children. He left children that were fitting to continue his path. They were continue giving over the torch. And that's why, and even with that, Aharon was quiet. He accepted it and he kept quiet and he didn't do that. So now what was the reward? For us, what's a reward? We win a big lottery and we win. That's going to be, flights to Israel, $100,000 cash. We want houses, right? We want this, cruises. That's a big lottery. That's what Hakadosh Baruch Hu comes and he speaks directly to him. That's the biggest reward that a person could get. When Hashem is coming and saying, I'm speaking directly to you without anybody else. Me and you. That's it. Privately, and he teaches them about what it is, the shtuyei yain, but the Kohanim are not allowed to drink wine, the chulei go to the Bet HaMikdash to do the service in the Bet HaMikdash. And that's why they come and they say, that was the punishment, right, in the Bayit HaSheni. What was the punishment in the Bayit HaSheni, in the second Bet HaMikdash? They were punished because they didn't make the bracha on Birkat Torah. What does that mean? They didn't make the bracha at the beginning. What does that mean? They said because their berachot, they made much more, that everything had to do with what? With wealth, with this. Torah was last. They didn't make the bracha on the Torah at the beginning. What does that mean? The most important thing that a person has in this world is Torah. We just lost one of the greatest giants, right? In I don't know how many generations. Right, we're talking about Rav Chaim Kanievsky. He was called Sara Torah. That was his nickname, the master of the Torah. Something incredible that everybody, thousands and thousands of people don't even realize how many people used to go to him. And it's incredible that somebody actually put it out. They said, listen, you had this person that he didn't have Facebook. He didn't even know what Facebook was. He didn't have WhatsApp. He didn't have, LinkedIn. He didn't have, the Twitter. He didn't have Instagram. He had nothing. And still he had more than 1 million followers. What does that mean? The concept is that the Torah is the most important thing that we have in this world. And that's what Rav Chaim Kanievsky was teaching everybody. He could be in the smallest little tiny apartment, 1 bedroom, right? And 1 dining room. And still, it was the center of the entire world. The center of Bnei Brak, the center of everything. Everybody that wanted something, they used to go to Rav Chaim. So just imagine what it was, the center of everything. And he could be stuck in a little tiny 1-bedroom apartment, nothing. Why? Because the Torah is what gives you everything. The Torah is what gives the most importance in the world. And that's why here what we're trying to learn is, first of all, that we have to actually make sure that our children are continuing the path in the Torah, because that's what Moshe Rabbenu was suffering. Moshe Rabbenu was saying, what about my children? If they're not leading my path, what do I have? So he's jealous of Aharon, and that he's jealous of Aharon. Not that Aharon as a Kohen, that didn't change. He wanted Aharon to be the Kohen Gadol. He wanted, and he was jealous, and he wanted that his children should be like Aharon's children, that they're continuing the path of their parents. And that's why it's so important to have that. But then look at the reward that Aharon gets. Aharon Hakohen gets the reward of Idom Aharon. Right? What was it? He kept quiet. He accepted it. What was the reward? I come and I speak directly to you. 1-on-1 session. Nobody else, not even Moshe Rabbenu, nobody. It's me and you. I get this attention only because of Idom Aharon that he kept quiet. I hope that we're actually able just to remember these words, right, in order to grow in Torah Yirat Shamayim. Amen.